user actions and use cases. A user action and use case represents how a user may interact with your app in order to complete a task, and should always be based on research and data, as this removes our own perceptions and bias and ensure the app is inclusive for users with a range of cognitive and physical abilities. So those user types that we've just established here with aid of the personas, you're really starting to define what it is they're doing. Are they signing into the app? How might they sign in? Do they need to sign up first? That's usually can be the sort of first actions that occur on most systems that have login access. Maybe though they're a general user that you don't want them to have to go through a login process, and actually this is a system that's open to all up to a certain point. If you go onto Pinterest and you can browse a certain amount of the system as a non-user almost, but then the trigger occurs where you want that person to be incorporated into the system with a login access, etc. So that's an important consideration there as well. Maybe how much of the app is accessible to who, and that's where the definition of user types is super useful at that point as well. But really just getting as well to this, you're really jotting down what is the actions that the user is doing, and what is the sort of end goal as well of those actions. So how this is a list of ways a user may interact with the system. Maybe a really good starting point is to consider, for example, Domino's delivery. So I want a pizza, I'm hungry. So what are the steps that I have to perform and interact with the system in order to get to that? Okay, this pizza will be delivered at this particular time. There's a start and an end point there, and it's good to have those defined and listed out, because it establishes, not just for yourself, but for the developers who are going to be building your system, because it's very rare for just a single person to be building an entire system, so that they clearly understand what is ultimately your vision of how your users are interacting. So